They Saved Hitler's Brain is a 1968 science fiction film that was adapted for television from a shorter 1963 theatrical feature film, Madmen of Mandoras, directed by David Bradley. The film was lengthened with about 20 minutes of additional footage shot by UCLA students at the request of the distributor. Synopsis: World War II is over, and Nazi officials remove Adolf Hitler's living head and hide it in the fictional South American country of Mandoras, so that they can resurrect the Third Reich for the future. It fast-forwards into the 1960s, and the surviving officials kidnap a scientist in an attempt to keep Hitler alive. Various intelligence agencies, aware of the evil plot, recruit secret agents to bust the Nazi officials. Cast: Walter Stocker as Phil Day, Audrey Kerr as Kathy Coleman, K.C. Day, Carlos Rivers as Camino Padua, Teo Padua, John Holland as Professor John Coleman, Marshall Reed as Frank Dvorak, Scott Peters as David Garrick, Keith Darla as Tom Sharin, Danny Lynn as Suzanne Coleman, Nestor Piver as Police Chief Ilanas, Pedro Riguez as Presidente Juan Padua, Bill Fried as Adolf Hitler. Parodies in popular culture. In The Simpsons, the penultimate episode of the 10th season, They Saved Lisa's Brain, is a play on the film's title. The episode, Raging Abe Simpson and His Grumbling Grandson in The Curse of the Flying Hellfish, features Abe Simpson remembering a moment during World War II when he had Hitler in his sights. He had muttered, "Hey, hey, hey, now they'll never save your brain, Hitler," but the shot went astray through the clumsy intervention of fellow Hellfish Squad member Montgomery Burns. In the episode Marge Be Not Proud, one of the games in the store, Try and Save, is titled, Save Hitler's Brain. Quote, in the episode, Duffelis, one of the items on the conveyor belt is Hitler's head in a jar. Simpsons comics referenced the title in the story, They Saved Homer's Brain, in 1996. In other media, in 1986, the movie was featured in an episode of the Cannes Film Festival. Upon learning he was dying of radiation poisoning due to the constant exposure from his kryptonite ring, Lex Luthor stages his own death and has his brain preserved in a jar while wired to a computer. While a new body is cloned for him, he then re-emerges as his alleged illegitimate son Alexander Luthor, Jr. The comic arc was titled, They Saved Luthor's Brain. In Futurama, Professor Farnsworth proclaims, everyone's always in favor of saving Hitler's brain. But when you put it in the body of a great white shark, suddenly you've gone too far. Quote, in Flaming Carrot comics, the Flaming Carrot is menaced by an army of disembodied clones of Hitler's jackbooted feet. Hitler's Brain is a character in the irregular webcomic series of comic strips. The Dead Kennedys song, We Have a Bigger Problem Now, references Hitler's brain in a jar. The supposed formaldehyde used to preserve Hitler's brain is an ingredient of the Tricky Dicky screwdriver, a fictional cocktail drink, along with Jack Daniels and Purple Kool-Aid. Los Angeles punk band Angry Samoans included the song, They Saved Hitler's Cock, on their 1982 album Back from Samoa. In the comic book series Savage Dragon, Hitler's brain was attached to a gorilla body to become the villain Brain Ape. After being separated from the gorilla, the brain forms legs and runs away. An episode of the U.S. cartoon Duckman was entitled, They Crave Duckman's Brain, based on the premise that Duckman, after falling asleep in an active CAT scanner, developed an isotope in his brain that could cure cancer, but getting to it would kill Duckman. In honor of the film, the area of the now-defunct Pointless Waste of Time forum set aside for serious discussion was ironically titled, We Saved Hitler's Brain. Quote, it, along with the rest of the PWOT forums, was migrated to Cracked.com when editor David Wong was employed by Cracked. Senior editor. Unnatural Axe's 1978 song, They Saved Hitler's Brain, was singer and guitarist Richie Parsons' homage to the film. He says in an interview with Boston group E! News, "I saw the last 5 minutes of this B-movie that was funny as hell. I had no idea what it was about. All I saw was Hitler's brain in a glass jar in the back of a staff car, and the rest I made up." Quote, Local H's album Hallelujah, I'm a Bum includes a song titled, They Saved Reagan's Brain. Quote, reception. Rotten Tomatoes gives They Saved Hitler's Brain a rare rating of 0% based on reviews from 5 critics, with an average rating of 1.3. See also, List of American films of 1963. They Saved Hitler's Brain at the Internet Movie Database. The Madmen of Mandoras at the Internet Movie Database.